Hello and welcome, people of YouTube, to day 4 of the Advent Calendar Commander Draft Series. And yeah, we've gained a new legendary creature, the Invoder, the Rising Deep, who I suppose is a commander option, though almost certainly if we were going to consider blue, we would go with the Rogath combo and keep our red in play, or we'd go with Emote, who at least can choose both. Still, it's the only mass removal we have at the moment, so it's probably going to make whichever deck we go with unless things change. So, also one thing, I noticed this at the end of the last video, but I really got to keep up to date with at least clicking the cards so that they appear on here. I apologise for that. We'll see how things go going forward. I want to go for the one at the end here, I think. Okay, we've opened the second Commander Legends booster. Okay, so Rogath, you might be replaced. We'll see what we get though. So obviously this is a 20 card booster pack, so we get 4 picks out of this one. And this will give us a chance of potentially expanding our colour pool a little bit. So, let's see what we get. Number 1, we get a Renegade Tactics. Target creature cannot block this turn, draw a card. It replaces itself. There's a chance we play that. Probably not going to. Fertilid is a great little ramp spell, and also I've not been clicking on this. I just said I wasn't going to, but there we go. There we go. And Fertilid. So a lot of text on this card, but basically it comes into play with 2 counters on it. So as a 2/2 creature, and we can remove counters from it to search for lands. So this would be good in Emote because it allows us to ramp. It would also be just a good card if we ended up in multiple colours for whatever reason. We then get a Defiant Salvager. So sacrifice an artifact or creature, put a +1 counter on him, but we can only do that at sorcery speed. This would be a lot better if we could do this at any time. In fact, that might just be a ridiculously good card if we could do it at any time. Because then when someone's about to kill your creatures, you power this up. When somebody's about to destroy an artifact, you power this up. Whenever you make a misplay, you power this up. And sometimes there's a good reason for just sacrificing things, throwing them into the graveyard, and then seeing what happens. So, yeah, almost. We then have the Armory of Iroason. This is the first card that probably assists Rogath here. Whenever equipped creature attacks, +1/+1 counter on it, so it gets slowly bigger. We could also keep this onto Fertilid and just get ourselves slowly all the lands out of our deck. Oh, by the way, I do get basic lands on top of everything else I'm doing here, and at the end of the day, we need to have, just for calculation purposes, we need 36, I think, playables in a 24-card deck. 26 playables, 24 lands in a 60-card deck. Obviously, 2 of the playables will be commanders, but we'll work that out a bit closer to the time. We then get Squad Captain. So Squad Captain enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter for each other creature I control. So we've got a lot of +1/+1 counter synergies in this pack. Weird. We also then get the Path of Ancestry. So this is, and again, I'm not clicking on things. There we go. That's why it's so good. You see it now. You see it now. We then get the Path of Ancestry. So, when it enters the battlefield tapped, add 1 mana to your color identity. So basically, color identity is the colors that happen to be on your commander, which basically include the mana cost, but also just generally speaking what color activated abilities are on it. So for example, if this kicker was say green, I know it isn't, but this would be a blue-green commander identity card. Rogath doesn't have a color identity, or wouldn't have, if were it not for the fact that we got a little red symbol there to indicate that this card is always considered red. So, this basically would add 1 color of the colors of the mana identity, but also we get to scry 1 whenever we cast a card that shares a type of it. So, kobolds, warriors, sphinxes, if we had these, are free. And of course, this also means that if you cast a spell using this, you also scry when you cast a commander. And if we're scrying with Elgath, we draw a card when we cast our commander. So, Path of Ancestry, there we go. Next card is going to be the Seraph of Dawn. So, this is a 2/4 life-linking angel. Nothing massively exciting, but it's not the worst. Again, if we were in those colours, that'd be fine. Next, we have a Champion of the Flame. Now, this is, again, another Rogath-style card. Gains +2/+2 for each aura or equipment attached to it. So, if we're going with Rogath, we probably want to have a lot of... It's a Savannah again. It likes saying it's a Savannah. It's not. Oh, fine. You know what Rogath is. Then we want that in a similar style of deck. So that is a bit of synergy with our Rogath commander. So we'll put that into the maybe pile for the moment. This is also in the maybe pile as well, because it will go regardless. Next up, we go into Angel of the Dawn. So more angels. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 and vigilance until end of turn. So, yeah, a pump effect for other creatures, not the worst. 5 mana Angel. Unfortunately, doesn't trigger Imity, unfortunately, but alright, hello, that's what happens. Next spell is Prying Eyes. This is a 6 mana spell, which would have Cascade under Imity. Draw 4 cards, discard 2 cards. I mean, I've seen worse rates, but actually, that might not be. Card draw is always something to be prioritized, and it is a 6 mana spell for Imite, so we'll consider, but probably not what we're going to go with. Okay, Mana Rock, Marble Diamond. So it enters the battlefield tapped and produces white mana. It is quite a good card if we had any white in this slot. White has been the most consistently good thing we've got out of all of these, and I wish I was drafting it. I really do, and just hope we get a white legendary creature at some stage. Next up, we go to a 7 mana creature up top. We go for a... Are you going to take it? Nope. So I'm going to have to type it. Annoyed Altasaur. So, it has Reach, which means it can block flying creatures. It has Trample, which means it'll do damage through other creatures to my opponents. And it has Cascade, which is the Imity thing. So when we cast it, we get a lesser spell as well. And also, it is a 7 mana, it is a more than 6 mana spell, so it gains Cascade again if we have Imity on the field. So, there are certainly some options brewing with this pack. I'm glad we got this, because this is giving us decisions that we're going to have to try and make. And we still haven't got to the legendary creatures in this pack yet, which might change everything. So, we also get a Court Street Denizen. Whenever another white creature enters the battlefield under our control, we draw... we tap a creature. We draw a card. That would be awesome. We tap target creature and opponent controls. I wish it was draw a card, but white doesn't have a lot of good card draw usually. We then have another big green spell. We have a Sifter Worm. When it enters the battlefield, we scry free. First scrying spell, and it's not going in our usual Rogath combo here. Reveal cards from the top of your library. Gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. So we would then draw free and then just take whatever the top one is, but still. 7 mana spell, big 7/7 trampler. It might make it in on that basis alone. The next card is the Daring Saboteur, which has a 2 mana 2/1. 3 mana, we can make it unable to be blocked, and it deals combat damage to a player. We draw a card and then discard. So, card filtering. It's a little pricey to make it unblockable each turn. So, I mean, you can't argue with card draw every now and then. Card draw is good. But I think that's on the maybe pile. I think we got... I mean, to be fair, these look like 4 good piles that we could take here. But I think we'll hold off on that for the time being. Next up, we go for the Armorcraft Judge. So, when it enters the field, draw a card for each creature you control with +1/+1 counter on it. That might be good. We'll put that in the maybe pile for the moment because actually just move these out of the way slightly, and I've nudged my playmat. That's not good. Again, though, our white is... Oh, okay. Our white is amazing. Slash the ranks. So this is destroy all... Doesn't want to show the card, which is fine. Slash the ranks is destroy all creatures and planeswalkers except for commanders. So for 5 mana, we clear the board of everything except our commander creatures. I have 3 cards left. I hope there's a white commander here, because that would then just cause me to have to make decisions. And we like having to make decisions. Blim, Comedic Genius. This is one of my favourite cards from the set as it was revealed. But it's probably not suitable for this deck. So when it deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of the target opponent I control. Then each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they own, they control but don't own. That's a really good build around. It would also allow us into black. Unfortunately, as much as I love the card, I don't think we can play it. So that is going to go decidedly up there, and I'm going to regret things. Can it be? Can it actually be? We have a white creature, the commander option. When it's a battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 2 up to target creatures. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you control with a +1/+1 counter dies, make a spirit. So it comes into play, puts counters on creatures, makes them bigger, and then we make spirits whenever we take +1/+1 counters whenever creatures with +1/+1 counters die. Oh, decisions have to be made. The other card is a core cartographer. When it's enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a planes, put it onto the battlefield. It is also foil, because shiny. It's our first foil card we've had, apart from Elgaf, actually. And a white spirit token, which clearly is appropriate because Alanu is there. Oh boy, this is tricky. Okay, so we have decisions to make with this now. If we take this, then obviously we're going to partner it up with either Rogak or Elgaf. We also have Blim technically as an option, but I don't think we're going to use it, because I don't think we've got enough stuff that's going to help us on that kind of synergy at this stage. If we take Alharu, I think we've got to take the Armory of Iroas. We should take the Path of Ancestry regardless of what we take. And then we've got to think about it. Probably slash the ranks. So that will allow us into white. We get some removal, we get some power up. What else do we get if this actually comes to that? Marl Diamond would be good ramp. Squad Captain gets powered up by itself. Angel of the Dawn just gives a static effect rather than counters. Oh, and then we got this Spycraft Judge as well, which just draws cards for a +1/+1 counters. And then we just got our big, dumb green spells. And I like big, dumb green spells. We could build a big, dumb green deck quite easily here. Oh, this is torturous in terms of how we want to build. So many options. I think I want to prioritize the removal. So I think, honestly, as good as the rest of this is, and this is good, I was perfectly happy to take Fertilid, Sifterworm, Annoyed, and Champion the Flame, because I think this works, or at least Path of Ancestry, because this gives us the ability to play Emoti. I think with this cut, we are no longer considering Emoti as part of the commanded list. Slimvoda will keep because it's removal, and can go into colours. And I think now we're looking at playing maybe blue-white. So blue-white tokens, maybe blue-white scry, hopefully getting some stuff here. This gives us a second ramp spell, gives us a possibility of us going in for +1/+1 counter synergies going forward, which there will be +1/+1 counter synergies throughout the rest of the game. So picks have been made. Regrets may also have been made, but I feel that that is the best way to go. It's a shame we couldn't keep this, because this would be good ramp as well. Especially as we do have expensive commanders here, 5 and 6. But, yeah, that is, I think, Pack 4. Hopefully next time, and the camera has just decided to get completely out of focus. Thank you. Yeah, I think next time, hopefully we'll have some easier decisions to make, because that was tricky. That was tricky. So we're probably now looking to just go red, blue, white, probably focusing on these rather than this. We're definitely focusing blue, but having removal now, yeah, we want to be in white. So that was day 4. We'll see what happens as we go forward. Until next time, folks.